It seems more dramatic of a difference if you look at our record now and our first record. But I think most people, that, if there are any out there that have listened to all the records in succession, it's like you hear the shifts happening.
You know, people still refer to us as like a drone band. I mean, that's kind of crazy. It's got to be really, really disappointing for someone who's like, I'm gonna go buy a drone record, to go and like pick up anything that we've been working on in the past 5 years. You're gonna miss that, I think.
In this episode of Electric Independence, we're visiting Growing, an electronic act from Brooklyn, New York. They've released a whole bunch of albums over the past 10 years or so, and now they're going to take us into the studio and show us some of the gear they used to record their new album, Pumps. Nice.
Yes,
of
course.
What's up?
See you.
It's good to see you.
Look at all this
Junk.
junk.
Yes.
Wouldn't say that.
None of us are really materialists. We're not collectors. We're not like gonna have 20 guitars. Even if we had the means for all this stuff, like I don't think, it's just that's not our interest.
If
it's
anything,
kind of
we
like
fetishize worn out and broken things.
It's
you know?
just it's sort of the make do kind of thing is like a driving force in the band, and I think it keeps us creative always. You know.
How did the band come about, and when exactly?
When?
The original lineup.
I think it was 1999, right?
Yeah.
I moved into a house with Kevin, and we just started jamming and doing guitar stuff.
That was in Olympia, Washington. Nice little town. Just basically, like, I played bass, he played guitar, and I had a distortion pedal. We just kind of kept buying different things and trying different things, and it just kind of developed naturally over time.
And how much did adding Sadie into the mix affect that?
Yeah, you don't know, do you?
I don't know.
I mean, it's made a really big difference. I think you have another voice, and you've got another, you got a whole other perspective. So, she steers it as much as we do.
And it is a voice too, which is a different kind of instrument. You know, like we hadn't really done much voice stuff in the past, and so just the way it sounds and mixes with all the other sounds is really fun and interesting and new, and so it was exciting and challenging. Yeah.
And we had to. I mean, I'm not a singer, so we had to learn all how a microphone works. Really, when you're recording something, and how different effects work with vocals, because it's different than a guitar, Well, I loaded this thing with a lot of different sounds, and I kind of do that before I come in to play with, the band. So, like, this is a sample that I made. And so I have that going, and then, I'll run it. It's actually going through the tremolo pedal. This is the original sample that I made. So it's through the tremolo, and then I do a lot of this during the set. I do a lot of this. This is the pitch shifter. I'll pitch up and down a lot during the set. This is one of our songs. So, and then the vocal, I have a vocal chain, and then this is just direct.
Can we have a sample of the vocal?
Yes. It kind of does the Lil Wayne thing. And this is definitely what he's using, I think. I'm pretty sure of it.
It's a Lil Wayne signature model.
Yeah, I think
Joe and I did not sit down over, salad and decide that we needed somebody, and that person was Sadie. I mean, it really did come about naturally. Like, there was always talk, oh, we should jam. And then one night, we were just like, we should do it maybe tomorrow.
That was when it was kind of like, well, let's do this.
Yeah.
Are you
She's
gonna
on tour?
All right. And then it was like the next day. It was like, do I call and say I'm in or not? That was the definitive, and I was like, I'm in.
So
Were you weren't sure whether you should call because you didn't know if you wanted to be in, or whether there was a real offer?
No, it was just that moment. I was like, oh, what did we talk about last night? And I was like, oh, I joined growing. Like, all right, do I want to do this? And then, but I did. I was psyched about it. I really was. So.
And how's it working out so far?
It's been. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it really is. I think it's like there isn't really a growing anymore without Sadie in it. You know?
That's
like
true.
She's fully in the band. It's not any question of like we did this for so long and now we've got this other person. You know, it's like it's a three-way unit now.
Basically, the most important things at this point is the Korg drum machine and then the Boss samplers that I have. If I didn't have those, it'd be a disaster.
These are super simple to use.
Yeah.
So it's easier for us because we're not so bright with the electronic stuff sometimes.
And none of us are musicians. Like, you put us up against like a 2-year-old who's been playing for 2 years and they got us beat. You know what I mean? Like, it's really about what we can do. And that's, you know, we couldn't play anything else. This is what we can play. I mean, I like how cheap, you know, for lack of a better word, how cheap it sounds. You know what I mean? It's not this really like perfectly crisp thing, you know. It just doesn't sound like everything else.
What's the time that you broke the pedal that wasn't broken?
No, there was one pedal. Yeah, there was this one pedal where I was like every time I stepped on it, like made this crazy sound that it wasn't supposed to, and it was like a homemade pedal that I bought off eBay, like, which is not, I mean, it's just not a smart thing to do. But in defense of the maker, whoever this person is, it wasn't the pedal, which I didn't know, I just assumed that it was, and we were driving in Baltimore over this bridge, and I just threw it out the window into the water. And then the next night we were playing and the same thing happened. So it's like...
It was like a patch cable.
Yeah, the patch cable had some, you know, loose hair or something, so...
So it kind of sounds like you're at the mercy of your gear.
Yeah, but you never know. I mean, sometimes when things break, you get to do better stuff and you figure out a different way, and that's also enlightening. And it happens a lot, so you get those moments too. You know, I like to think we could still put together a set that's sort of nice.
Almost listenable.
Almost listenable, yeah.
You know, I don't want to just go up there and just hit play. I don't want to just do that. That's totally fine that happens. I have no problem with it, but I want to have some amount of like hands-on, you know, like I'm doing something up there other than just like standing there. I think that's a really important part of, you know, why our music sounds the way it does or whatever, is because we are actually playing things other than, you know, which is, you know, again, it's not a judgment, sort of, yes.
And how much of a departure is this record for you guys, being that it's the most beat heavy and it's got vocals?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a departure because in my mind, we're always developing and we're always changing. With this record, it was like everything was a lot more written out than we ever have been. The songs were really well structured by the time we went to the studio, which is kind of a new experience for us.
And the songs lend themselves to a little bit more of a like structural shifts in like really concrete ways, in ways that the other songs hadn't.
It's been interesting with this record coming out, and all of a sudden we realize people think it's really abstract, and we don't at all. It's kind of confounding that people don't hear it the same way that we do, that it's kind of confusing at first and they need to listen to it a few times and it feels abstract. So I don't think we're like some crazy experimental abstract band. So I don't know what the hell our music is. It's confusing.
I guess the thing is I don't want to be thought of as anything. I don't want to be thought of now as an electronic band. I didn't want to be thought of as a guitar band then. We're just like, you know, people making music, I guess. Whatever that is, for better or worse, that's just what it is. And yeah, I guess I'm afraid to be thought of either way.